afternoon and welcome to the Artful Coders series on PHP. So in this video I'm going to show you how to set up in IIS a brand new site to start doing development. Now some of my examples feature a fictitious site called KevSite. Now what is this? This is a folder with PHP coding and it's what I've been using from a PHP series. Now, I have to explain a few things about this because when you set a site up in IIS, you have to do your bindings that says, well, when somebody puts a website address in, what do they go to? And you also need a folder within your www root folder. This doesn't have to be there, it can be anywhere you want. So what we do start by doing, let's create a brand new site. So let's do new folder, continue, and we'll call this www.sunday.co.uk. It is Saturday today, but we'll do that. And within this, you just need, then you can start putting your files, so your folders. So you might have another folder, which is CSS, and you might have another folder, which is JS for JavaScript. And all we're going to do is create a simple file. So we're going to leave this as it. We'll create a simple file. So new. Can't create any files in here because of the permissions. So what we're going to do is we'll come into here, do show more options, properties, security. Let's say users. This is all we've got. So let's edit that. And you can have IIS users. So just for us, we're administrators. So we'll say users, we'll do full control, apply. Okay. So now hopefully, is it still going to do this? You've got file. So we've granted permissions. Now, one thing I want to explain on this is if we create a folder called upload, suppose when we want to write to the folder. Now, what you need to do in the security is go show more options. The proper way to do this is go security, find IIS users, and you want modify permissions. That's a more advanced way of doing it. So let's go to IIS users and they can have modify. And that should be sufficient permissions, which is you have to grant it to IIS, not PHP. So now we've got our basic folders. A couple of things else we need to do. So open new file tab up. We're going to navigate to C, Windows, System 32, and we're going to go to drivers, etc. Again, that's C, Windows, System 32, drivers, etc. Now, if you were doing this, you wouldn't necessarily need to do this, but this is so we can navigate to our site within here. So let's edit with Notepad++. Now, Notepad++ is a free program and it's great because this is a system protected file. Now, if you did this using Notepad, you'd have to make sure you run it as administrator. So let's just add our site in. So it goes to the local IP address and it should be tab.sunday.co.uk. Okay, so if we save that, it's going to tell us, yes we do, we want to reload in admin permissions, and we're just going to save it. So we next need to set a site up. So let's add a brand new site, www.sunday. Again, this can be whatever you want it to be. And then we're going to choose our physical path. Now, this is where it says where all of the web files live on your computer. We're just going to bind it to the same. You can type it, sunday.co.uk. Okay. So what happens now if we go to .sunday? We should have nothing. Let's see what it does. Okay, because we don't have any default documents. But that in a nutshell is how to configure the site. And we've done it. If you're doing, you want it on HTTPS, but that does get a bit messy on self-hosted sites in this way. So my recommendation, you'd effectively, if I wanted this on HTTPS, I go to bindings, I can click add. You'd have you just choose it there on port 443. We change it to that. You then have to choose your certificate. I don't think this is going to work, but we'll try it. Okay, let's give it a go. No restart needed. So if I then go here, this may not work, but we'll test it. Yeah, the certificate's not recognised properly. So it will support it, but ideally you'd have your proper certificates in. Now, the reason I've added the host file is so that we can see it on this PC. In a server environment, you wouldn't need to touch this, or a server in the cloud. This is purely so on our local machine we can access it. And then all I'd suggest as well is get yourself Visual Studio Code, because it's a great little editor and it's free. So this is a site I've been working on, so we'll close that. This is my CMS system. And let's open our site up. So let's do open folder. Where are we going to open up? Let's go C, again, inetpub, www.root, Sunday. And it doesn't show anything at the moment, so how about we add a file called index.php. Now, if we refresh our page, it's still forbidden. Why is it forbidden? Because we don't, it should pick it up. Let's check default documents. We don't have that in, so have we got it in here? Yeah. Okay, so another thing you need to do in IIS, which isn't obvious, is if I double click in that, you need to add, otherwise this won't work. And if we come down here, refresh that now, that's going to be a blank page. We've got nothing in there. There's no, but it is running, so we can test if it's running PHP. We could simply do PHP, open that up, and we could just do echo, which is a function. Hello, world. And if we refresh your page, there you go. So we've set up a PHP site. Now, what this doesn't cover is how to configure PHP with IIS and how to set IIS up. Please refer to my other videos. This is just purely showing you how to create a site within IIS that supports PHP. The install PHP requires a bit more to do, like fast CGI. You have to configure your PHP path, your environment variables. And I highly recommend you check out my other videos, because I will cover all of that in those videos. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a very simple look. Our code doesn't do a lot, but it can be as much as you want, and that's all you need to do. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.